And now joining us on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line, ladies and gentlemen, you know her, and you better damn love her, as far as I'm concerned. Krystle Rich Bell joins the show, Sixers Outsiders, and a whole array of other things. Just real quick, just look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all she's got going on here. She's got everything going on here, as a matter of fact. All right, here's her Twitter profile. She's got NBC Sports Philadelphia, Sixers Outsiders, Big Ten Network, no big deal. And I believe that's Rutgers University as well.
That's right. Still rocking my red.
Look at you. Krystle Rich, how the hell are you?
I'm doing well, Mark. Man, it's been so long since the last time we got together. Thank you for having me on the show.
No, it's my pleasure. We need your knowledge. But also, I just want to do this because I didn't intend to do this. But if you look in the middle of your, what do you call it, your cover photo there on your Twitter, it's me and you when we were co-hosting Philly Sports Talk. I think Amy had the day off. It's Danny Pomels, or as the great Mark Zumoff like to say, Pomels. And I am holding up a medal. Krystle, do you know what that medal was for?
Oh, my God.
Just out of curiosity.
You're really going to do this to me? I haven't changed that photo since maybe like 4 years ago when I got to the Sportsnet or NBC Sports Philadelphia. Yes, I know what the photo is from. It's from the NRG football, whatever. And I was D'ing you up
You were. Yeah.
Everyone, they knew Krystle Rich, but they didn't know K Rich. Unfortunately, it is a team game, and you edged us out. So you decided to brag with your medal on air. Yes, I do remember it, and I still did not change that photo.
I come from a humble people. I just don't take after them. Krystle, no, it's so great to have you on the show. It's the first time. We'll play Fast Five at the end of the interview. It's so great to have you on. But I got to ask you a couple of things about these Sixers, obviously. Most recently, DeAndre Jordan, washed, have anything to offer? What do you think the Sixers could get out of him if he joins this squad, when he joins this squad?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're always looking for a sufficient backup to Joel Embiid, especially for playoff times. Not someone who's going to play crazy amount of minutes, but someone who at least can hold it down, protect the rim. I think it's good that he would be able to be reunited with Doc Rivers. I think that would be good. I think that he's a monster when it comes to catching lobs. I also still think that because he's a little older, he does have a little bit more to prove. So I don't think that it may be a seamless transition for him. I think that in past years, he's kind of declined a little bit. But if he can give you 5 to 7 really good minutes where he's putting his all out, he's catching lobs, he's protecting the rim, I think that'll be enough to be sufficient.
All right, 5 to 7. All right, I'll mark him down for 5 to 7. Hopefully they can get that out of him. Now let's get to the creme de la creme. I mean, James Harden, is he just being on his best behavior right now, or is this what we're going to get for the remainder of the season? What do you think?
No, listen, I talk about this all the time. I think his slate needs to be wiped clean. You go back to his Houston days, he didn't want to go through a rebuild because he is getting older. He wants to get some bling. He wants to get a ring. In Brooklyn, he got catfish, Mark, straight up played. He thought he was signing up to be a big three with KD and Kyrie. Guess what? That didn't happen. He had a player who did not want to get vaccinated, of course. So at one point, he just wasn't playing. Now he's a part-time player. That's still not good enough. He needs to get on a team where he can build some true camaraderie before the playoffs. He's 32 years old, which we know is a different age in basketball. He's ready to win and ready to win now. And that aligns with the goals of Joel Embiid and the Sixers. Joel Embiid is actually happy again. He's smiling again. He's more passionate. So no, I think this is a beautiful marriage, and I think he is on his best behavior. But I think truly that is who he is. I think that because of his circumstances, he's just been forced to act up, and people just talk about him liking lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, among other things. I do love the idea though of him getting catfished with the Nets. Like, I just love it. I love the idea of like he goes to Brooklyn and like Kyrie Irving's like, guess what? I'm a dude. Sorry. Anyway, all right, that was a joke for me. So that was a selfish joke. All right, so Joel Embiid being happy is obviously a huge thing. What did you make of Joel Embiid's comments when he was basically calling out the Colangelos and all the changes that he's went through as a 76er?
Yeah, it was great because you almost forgot how much this dude has been through. He's been through injuries, which he didn't even mention. He's been through burner accounts. He's been through a player who would not shoot the ball to that same player blaming him for the same player holding out. He has been through so much. It was refreshing to hear to me because it made me remember how much he has been through, because we remember Joel Embiid, who came out and he was happy and he was shimmying after every dunk, but somewhere along the line, Mark, it felt like that has gone away. Especially a little bit last season, I could see that in his face. He would just have this blank look on his face all the time, and I'm wondering where Joel Embiid is. Where is Joel Embiid? He doesn't seem like the same person. But today and yesterday, a couple days ago, since the trade has happened in these past 3 games, it feels like he's gotten his joy back, and it feels like he's really gotten his passion back. We know that he could be a walking double-double, but to do it with so much joy and get these wide open looks and get other people involved, it's different.
Mm-hmm. It certainly seems like it. The other guy that is going through a bit of a change right now, and he's been doing it sporadically throughout the season, and certainly now consistently over the last really month, and now especially with James Harden, is Tyrese Maxey. Did you see at all the potential of Tyrese Maxey jumping to what it is right now so quickly?
He's in his sophomore season, Mark. No, I don't think I truly did to start the season. We knew that he would be called into a much bigger role if Ben Simmons truly did hold out, which he did. And he got in that role. At first, he had to get a little bit more adjusted with Joel Embiid. He kind of figured that out. But then when Harden came, we didn't know how it would work out. And I personally was willing to be a lot more forgiving towards, if anyone, Tyrese Maxey, because he's already been called in this huge role. Now he's getting another superstar on this team, but it has helped his game so tremendously much. Not only is James Harden able to get him a lot of wide open looks, probably the most wide open he's ever been in his entire career, but he's also like a Coach Harden to him. If you remember after the game, he said, Coach Harden said, "Did you come to play tonight? Did you show up tonight?" And in the first quarter, I think he had 4 points, second quarter, 0 points. And then he really stepped up his game, scoring 21 in the second half. So to be able to have that from a James Harden, to coach him up, that's something that will never show up in a box score. By the way, did you see the step back that Maxey did, the step back 3? Listen, Steph Curry can't even get away with this, because we know the James Harden double step back might be a little bit of a travel, but he gets away with it. Steph Curry back in 2019 tried to get away with it. He couldn't. Maxey executed it to perfection, and he's only in his second year. Fast forward to 5 years out, 10 years out, and imagine where he will be with this kind of training under James Harden.
It's so funny you reference that, because literally on yesterday's show, I said Joel Embiid has been doing the step back all year. Tyrese Maxey has worked in a step back throughout the season, but it wasn't the James Harden step back. The James Harden step back, the difference is you look at it and go, I'm pretty sure that's a travel, but whatever. Like, that's the difference. So I love that you pointed that out as well. When it comes to Tobias Harris, that's kind of the X factor, I feel. I feel like 2 nights ago, he dropped 15 points in the second game against the Knicks. And I felt like if that's what you're able to get from Tobias Harris down the line, 15 to 20 points, is it a max contract worthy type of statistical line? Absolutely not. But if he's hitting threes for you, if he's D'ing up for you, and he's getting you at least those points consistently, then I think he could fit in well with the other 3.
Yeah, Mark, I agree with that. I would like his numbers to be a little bit higher, maybe 17, 22, somewhere in that ballpark. And I think that we came here, and at least I said, give James Harden time to gel with this team. It's a new team. Don't expect them to come out and be fire. They came out and they were fire. But I still do think that Tobias Harris needs that grace time, that grace period, to be able to gel with James Harden. Because what Doc Rivers is doing when he splits up the rotation, he's keeping Harden and Tobias Harris out with some bench players. Last game, in the second quarter, it was Shake Milton, it was Millsap, and it was Danny Green. And I think he's still going to have to work on those rotations a little bit more. But I do think that Tobias Harris working with James Harden until we get to the postseason, I think that's going to develop that relationship a little bit more. He's still trying to figure things out. I know that James Harden has dropped some really pretty dimes to Tobias, and sometimes it could just be an issue if Tobias is missing, not that they're bad looks. Or sometimes I feel like sometimes he could be a little bit in his head. He's thinking too much. He might pass up a shot or two and find other guys who are open. But I think that by the time we get to the playoffs, I don't think this is going to be as much of an issue. If you can forget about this contract and stop putting the expectations for him to get 26 to 30 points per game, then I think that we'll see the puzzle pieces fit a lot better. And I just want to point out that back in the Brett Brown era, when we had the Jimmy Butler trade, they only played 10 games together before going to the playoffs. There was always something, whether Joel Embiid hurt or this person dealing with that. This team right now has about 20 games to get it together. And the biggest person that's going to have to figure things out is Tobias Harris. And I truly think that he will. That's
a phenomenal point, Krystle. So let's say they get it together over those 20 games. What are your expectations for this 76ers, James Harden, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, hopefully Tobias Harris led squad? What's your expectations for this team?
It's over. It's over. He figures it out. You saw the smile on my face before you could even get the question out. It is over. We are taking the East right now. The East is it's kind of up for grabs. You know, everyone's talking about Miami. We're talking about the Bucks. Bucks should beat Miami, but Miami, like, Jimmy Butler didn't play great. Kyle Lowry wasn't playing. So everyone's still question mark. KD might be coming back soon, question mark. No, all those questions are answered if Tobias Harris gets it together. The Sixers, I believe, will be able to not only take the East, but have a legitimate chance to be a contender and win it all this season. That's it. And
I'm on board.
I like to keep it real, and I'll give you one example of that. There was a broadcaster in a different market, I want to say Boston, who said Ben Simmons was overrated. All of Philly media went on him hard. This is when he was playing. And I sat back and I was quiet because I was like, you know what? I think he might have a point. He's a point guard. He doesn't shoot the ball. To me, that sounds overrated. So listen, I will keep it real. I'm not trying to be a homer, but if this team can get it together and Tobias Harris can contribute just a little bit more, make his shots, I believe they will win the East and have a chance at the chip.
It's all I need. It's all I need. Now you mentioned the Sixers answering some questions. Tobias Harris, most notably, hopefully answer a question. Krystle Rich, you've been answering questions throughout this entire interview. You want to play Fast Five? Answer 5 more questions quickly?
Can it be like medium pace 5?
Yeah, that's fine. Just pipe it down a little bit. It's the evening that we're taping this. It's in my relaxation time. Just calm down, all right? I love that. Let's get it going right here. We'll bring in the band. They'll rock it out for us. All right, here we go. First question. Best job before this job that you have. Best job before the job you have now.
All right, this goes all the way back to high school when I worked at a pizzeria. Even though I had really cool jobs, I broadcasted all over the country, learning to make a pizza by hand. And as an Italian man, I know you can appreciate that. Made calzones, made panzerottis, and the ability to be able to bring that into my adult life, priceless.
Beautiful. All right. That was very good and a fine pace. That was more of the medium. I like it. All right. Go-to fast food place.
I'm going to say Thai. Recently, it's been Thai. Usually it's pizza, but that's not even fast food. Okay, I'm going to have to go with pizza now.
Pizza's a fast food.
Yeah.
Makes sense. You love pizza. The lady likes pizza. First date deal breaker. Question number 3. First date deal breaker.
If he asks you to go Dutch and split the check, no, you're automatically in the friend zone. I can afford my own, and just in case it happens, I make sure I come prepared. But no, automatic friend zone. Not on the first date, maybe the second.
Love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Favorite city to travel to?
Philadelphia is always my number 1 city, but I like going to LA. You get the beach, you get the city, you get the sun. You never have to worry about rain.
All right, good enough. All right. In traffic, Krystle, what makes you use your horn?
When someone is tailgating me, I'll get in the other lane, beat really hard, and it's a thing. It's a shortcoming that I am working on. But stay off my behind. That's all I'm saying. Stay off my behind. If you know what car I drive, stay back. That's it.
I absolutely love that. I love the it's not even passive aggressive at all, because you're literally making the aggressive move.
Yeah.
Yeah, of letting them pull up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Krystle, you're the best thing happening. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys are checking out Krystle on Sixers Outsiders, of course, with the great Ty Johnson as well, who does a phenomenal job on that show, Tyrone Johnson. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And hopefully we'll talk to you down the line, maybe a little bit closer to the Sixers playoff run.
Yeah, Mark, sounds good. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Absolutely. The great Krystle Rich Belt joining us here on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't